Hello and welcome to this yoga sequence focusing on easing out tension around the neck and the shoulders. So postures that will ease out the neck and take the shoulders kind of around full range of motion, just to kind of create a deeper sense of ease and just release any kind of restrictions here. So working with shoulder mobility, range of motion. We'll just start with a breath focus, so find a comfortable seat, so cross-legged, sitting on your heels, however you're comfortable to sit. We can bring the hands to Gyan Mudra, so if you have the thumb and the first finger to touch, back of the hands resting onto the knees. We'll just take a minute or two just to kind of center ourselves and tune in. So be aware of the points of contact, your sit bones to the earth, to the mat. Feel like you can draw up through the spine, through the crown of the head. Let the shoulders relax. Just be aware of your shoulders for a moment. And then if you notice that you're kind of bunching up, just make an extra special effort to release and relax them. Just bring your awareness to your breathing once you're comfortable. Just take a couple of natural breaths. And then we're going to bring this into a 3-part breath, so nice and easy. Breathing into the belly, expanding into the belly, drawing the breath up, expanding into the ribs. Top of the breath around the top of the chest, the collarbones. Exhaling, softening, releasing belly, softening, releasing ribs, releasing around the upper chest. And doing the same again, so repeating the same 3-part breath, breathing into the belly, expanding into the ribs, drawing the breath up around the collarbones, and then with the exhalation, softening belly, softening ribs, softening the upper chest. And just do this a few more times, so go at your own pace. Be extra aware of keeping the shoulders, the arms, the hands relaxed, so your hands supported on the knees. Drawing in as deep a breath as you can, all the way to the top of the breath, and then with the exhalation, all the way to the bottom of the breath. It helps to induce a deeper sense of calm when we're breathing in this way. Breathing a little more mindfully, drawing more oxygen into the body. And creates a good base from which to begin our practice. So one last time, breathing belly, breathing ribs, top of the chest, collarbones. Exhaling, softening belly, softening ribs, softening upper chest. And then we'll release the 3-part breath. Just return to natural breathing now, so how you would normally breathe. Okay, and then when you're ready, opening your eyes, coming back into the space, releasing the hands. And we're just going to start by focusing on just a few simple exercises to release and stretch out the neck. So all you're going to do, so you're sitting up tall still, you're going to drop the chin to the chest. So as simple as that. So you're not slumping forward. You stay sitting up tall. Head is heavy, chin falls towards the chest, and straight away you should feel that stretch down the back of the neck leading into the upper back. So it's quite a lot of kind of tension and kind of holding happens around here. So just let the head be heavy. Be aware of the weight of the head. Breathe, so continue to breathe. And we're just going to do like a quarter circle. So we're going to come round to your right shoulder. So you're just going to stay with a kind of a roll, like a quarter roll. So you end up with your right ear towards the right shoulder. Pause a moment, be aware, and again, for me definitely, I notice how heavy my head is. So you're not going over with the movement, you stay shoulders level, just noticing and focusing on your heavy head, the weight of the head helping to stretch coming back to your start point, so slow roll back to center, and then over to the other side, so your left ear towards the left shoulder, and again just staying here for a moment or two, heavy head, feel that stretch along the side of the neck, breathing, and then coming slowly back to center again. So chin towards the chest. Pause for a moment, maybe notice if there's any sweet spots, where you want to just move back and forth a little. We're going to come back to the right side, so the first kind of side we looked at, okay? Keep the head here, and if you want to add a little, so if you're not feeling that much of a stretch, you can point the fingers away of the left hand. That will get the stretch deeper into the shoulder, so you'll notice it coming from the neck over the shoulder into the upper arm. And equally you can add, just take 2 fingers to add a little bit of weight, a bit of a deeper stretch. You don't have to, you can just kind of leave the head and not add the weight here or stretch into the arm. But if it's helpful and you feel you can get a deeper release here, we'll just take a couple of breaths. Okay, almost you feel like you're pulling in 2 directions, and then release the hand, release the arm, and slowly back to center. Okay, and then over to the other side, and we'll do exactly the same. So shoulders level, head is heavy. If this feels like enough, just keep it as it is and just stay with the breath. If you wanted to add a little, then just pointing the fingers away of your right arm this time, immediately I can feel it, so you may be able to feel it all the way down into the upper arm. Feels quite intense really, and then adding possibly just a little bit of pressure, a little bit of weight from 2 fingers, and you just feel like you're kind of lengthening the stretch a little. It's just helping to release any kind of daily holding really that we get from our head and neck. Breathing. Aware of every stretch kind of releasing, and then let go, come back to your start point, chin just down to the chest, and then slowly up, bringing the head back to center. Okay, nice and simple, things you could easily incorporate into your day even if you're sitting at a desk. One more kind of movement, we're just going to turn, so you're going to turn to gaze over your right shoulder, keep the chin up a little. You can feel then the stretch into the jawline leading into the neck. You're just really turning the gaze as far round as you comfortably can. We're not twisting, we're staying quite centered with the upper body. Breathing. And then we'll come back to center and then over to the other side. So we're just going to do that this one time. Again, you can lift up the chin a little, it gets a little deeper into the jawline. Breathing, and then coming slowly back to center. Okay, we're just gonna bring the arms up overhead. So let's interlace the hands overhead. Turn the palms away. So automatically you might feel that your shoulders are bunching up. So I want you to take your shoulders down. Be comfortable across the low back. Okay, so don't feel like you're flaring, just a comfortable position. And all we're gonna do is we're gonna just move back a little with the shoulders. It's a small movement. Breathing into it. Okay, so you just take them back to where you can, where you feel you comfortably can. Hold the stretch. Okay. And then see if you can go a little bit more. Again, you're softening around the ribs, so don't want to flare the ribs. Maybe you can feel a little warmth around the shoulders, the upper back. We'll just do this one last time, so maybe easing a little more. Okay, and then just coming back to center, bringing the arms down. We're going to clasp the hands behind the back, so you're opening across the chest, feeling the stretch into the shoulders. You can stay seated here. It's perfectly fine to stay seated, sitting up rather, but if you feel and you can fold forward, You might go a little bit forwards. You might find that you can open a little deeper into the shoulders, so creates more of a range of movement. You can even go down, head down to the floor and opening even deeper. Okay, so whichever movement position is available. Okay, and then slowly coming up, so arms down. If you're folding forwards, you're coming up to sitting up. Okay, just release the hands. Maybe just take a few shoulder rolls one way, go the other way. It really kind of warms up around the upper back. And maybe some shoulder shrugs, so just draw the shoulders up to the ears and release. Same again, hugging them up and then releasing, and then last time hugging the shoulders up and then releasing. Okay, so you should definitely already feel you've got a little bit of more circulation really going here, so that's helping you to feel a bit warmer. We're going to come onto all fours. We're going to have a look at Kakravakasana. So this is ruddy goose pose. So if we come or start from an all fours position, so normally for cat cow you would be wrists under shoulders, knees under hips. The only difference for this is that we're going to bring the hands a little further forwards, so not completely beneath the shoulders, but a little bit ahead, and you'll see why. So all we're going to do is we shift forward, so we're not sinking, we're just shifting the weight. So now the shoulders come back over the wrists, so breathing in. As you exhale, you're pressing back, and you keep the hands where they are, and then you can feel the stretch. Okay, we'll do this 2 more times. So breathing in, just bringing the shoulders so they're over the wrists. Exhale, pressing back. Really feel that into the chest as well. Breathing in one last time. Exhaling, pressing back. Okay, coming back to your start point again. And we're going to move into melting heart or extended puppy pose. So Uttanashishasana. If you come down onto your forearms, I'm going to give you options. So you might take hold of the inside of the elbows, rest the head to the forearms or down to the mat. Okay. You're feeling a stretch through the shoulders, across the chest, maybe, well, not maybe, but definitely across the low back. So it's a spinal stretch as well. If your shoulders need a little bit more of a stretch, and if it's comfortable, you can extend the arms out so they're extended rather than bent. And then you're letting the chest sink a little bit more, so you might find you have a bit more space. It's a deeper stretch through the shoulders. But if it's too much, you bend the arms. Okay, you're letting the heart sink towards the mat, opening up the spine. Okay, if it's too strong across the low back, you can shift back a little through the hips. So rather than directly over the knees, you can shift the hips back. Okay, but find what's comfortable for you. We'll just take 3 breaths here, or 3 more breaths. Really release on the out breath. You should feel a nice, kind of like you're really getting deep into the shoulders. Okay, and then if the arms are outstretched, bending those elbows first of all, coming onto the hands or the forearms, and then up to an all fours position. And we're just going to take a couple of breaths in, thread the needle on both sides. So I'm going to take my right hand, so obviously you're doing the same, thread behind the left hand, and then the side of my face is coming down to the mat. So I'm just going to take a couple of breaths here. I'm opening up my upper back through the shoulders, stretching through the shoulders, a twist, spinal twist. One nice big breath here, and then slowly back to center. So helping yourself slowly back to all fours, And same to the other side, so just threading the left hand behind the right. So we're just going to take a couple of breaths really here. Okay. A gentle twist really for the upper back. So we're not going to stay long, we're just going to take another deep breath. And then coming slowly back to center. Okay, we're going to tuck the toes here and come into downward facing dog. Again, it's just being aware of how we're stretching through the upper back. So we're obviously stretching through the back of the legs as well in downward facing dog. You can feel that kind of openness through the hamstrings, maybe into the calves as well. But fingers wide, and as you kind of draw up, so that little kind of tilt, shift through the hips, the tailbone, you can feel your upper body moving closer or pressing back towards the thighs, and then that lengthens the spine and it kind of deepens the stretch through the shoulders. Important to keep the shoulders away from the ears. So if you feel you're losing the neck, you need to pop those shoulders down, free the head, the neck. Extend through the heels. So you might find that your heels press down. You might find you're kind of hovering off a little, but it doesn't matter. Taking one more breath here. And then we're going to bring the feet to the hands, coming into Uttanasana. So let us hang down for a couple of breaths again. Maybe you can sway back and forth, shift the weight into the balls of the feet, shift back into the heels. Feel that stretch through the upper back, shoulders relaxed, head heavy, jaw relaxed. Maybe even kind of blow rising raspberries, just kind of with the lips. That's kind of, is that right? It's kind of a raspberry, isn't it? It really just helps. The aim is just to release the cheeks a little. Okay, and then we'll just bring the hands to the hips and we're going to come up. I'm going to roll up. You can take a flat back if you prefer, but just go really slow. Been in an inversion, head below the heart. So we just gently moving, letting the blood flow, change direction, back up to standing. Okay, so we're going to come to Surya Namaskar B. We're just going to do one round moving through. So it's kind of up and down, so it's a little bit difficult to get all of me in the screen, but you'll need to see what I'm doing on the mat, and then when I come back up again. So if you're just standing to the top of your mat, we're going to come through Utkatasana, so through chair pose. So your arms come forward through chair pose, sitting back, breathing in. Exhale, folding forward, hinging from the hips, hands to rest. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing down. So you can step, hop, or jump back to plank. Okay, so nice and strong in plank, so not sagging, not sticking up, somewhere in the middle. You can take the knees down if you want to modify it a little. We're going to hug the elbows in, and then lower ourselves down. Chaturanga Dandasana, coming through, opening up into the spine. So you might stay low, you might come a little bit higher, or you can come up into upward facing dog if the spine is happy. Okay, so just find what feels good for you, but keep those shoulders down, opening across the chest, tucking the toes, pressing back now into downward facing dog. Just taking a breath here, lifting up into the tailbone. Taking the right leg out behind, through between the hands, planting that back heel down, and we're moving into Warrior One, Virabhajasana 1. So you're bringing the arms up, possibly overhead, or you can keep the hands in prayer at the heart center. So your choice, see what feels comfortable for you. Gazes forward, gazes possibly up, bending into that front leg. So the back heel is planted down here. Virabhajasana 1, Warrior 1. Breathing. Okay, taking the hands down. So we're moving through our vinyasa here. Hands either side of the front foot, stepping back to plank or your modified option. Keep the elbows hugging in, lower yourself down, move through into your back bend. Okay, see what feels more comfortable. Tucking the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. Taking a breath, just kind of find your comfortable position. Then we're setting up for warrior one on the left side, so left leg out behind, through between the hands. Swivel, plant that back heel down, so you feel kind of steady before you bring the arms up. Okay, so the arms can come forwards. You can have the hands together, hands apart. Keep the hands in prayer at the heart center if you prefer. Bend into that front leg. You should feel quite a stretch into that back calf. And breathing. Shoulders stay down as the arms are overhead. Just again, so we're not losing the ears from the neck. Breathing. Okay, coming down to our vinyasa again. So the hands down either side of the front foot. Stepping back to plank or modified. Lowering yourself down. So your modified option is knees down, lowering, and then moving through to your back bend. Okay, tucking the toes, pressing back, downward facing dog. And let's just take a couple of breaths here. Let's take 3 breaths here. So all those little adjustments, keeping the posture active. So pressing into the heels, pressing into the base of the fingers, shoulders away from the ears. Really kind of draw the shoulder blades down the back, that little lift through the bottom and the hips. And breathe. Building strength across the shoulders, arms. We're stretching across the shoulders and the chest here. So even though it's not just focused on shoulders, we're always kind of using the shoulders in downward facing dog. Okay, bringing the feet to the hands. So step, step, or a little spring if you prefer. Coming into Uttanasana. Breathing in, half lift. Exhale, releasing, breathing the hands through, so to chair pose, Utkatasana, and then exhale, hands to prayer at the heart center. Okay, so that's just one round Surya Namaskar B. Okay, so we're going to come to the center of the mat. And at this point, I'm going to get you to grab a strap of some kind. So I obviously have an actual yoga strap. If you don't have a yoga strap, you can find yourself a belt, a tie, a dressing gown belt. What else can we use? I think they're the main things. You should have one of those laying around. So if you didn't have one already with you, just press pause, go and find yourself something to use. I guess you could even use a towel. You could just hold the 2 ends of the towel. So be inventive. You'll see what we're doing and then you'll know. So all we're going to do is, this is just an exercise to open up and stretch the shoulders. So you're going to start with holding the strap kind of hip distance apart. We're going to bring the arms up overhead. So you stay standing. Actually, if I come down, it will make it a little clearer. But you can, or you can on your knees, or you can stay standing, just so you can see. So kind of like we did at the beginning, really. You're thinking of drawing the shoulders back. So we're not flaring the ribs, soften the ribs. Just kind of let the movement be in the arms. That point of resistance. So you should feel quite a stretch here. Breathe. Okay, and then when you can kind of open no more or come back no more, you're going to kind of loosen, lengthen the grip or the amount of belt or strap there is between your hands. So widen it, that's the word. Coming back, so you should be able to find, you can open a little further back now because we've created a bit more space. Okay, so again, just to that point of resistance, holding there. This is such a nice way of really getting deep into the muscles here, upper back, shoulders. Again, you meet that point of resistance, loosen a little, so you're widening, come back again. Not forcing, Obviously, if you have any history of dislocating shoulders, you might want to take this very, very easy. Just start really wide, okay? So you don't want to force anything here. Point of resistance, loosen the grip, and at some point you should be able to come all the way back. You can feel my like shoulder blades touching there, and then coming back. Okay, so it's kind of glowing. You've got a lot of kind of blood flow there to your shoulders. All we do, nice and simple, is to come slowly back up. So you're not really going to change the grip here, but you're just going to come back up and over. Okay, really simple kind of movement. We're going to bring back to kind of hip width again. Again, you can do this. I'm going to stay kneeling because otherwise you won't see my arms. So your feet are a comfortable distance apart. We're lifting up, but pop those shoulders back down, stretching over. So we're doing a standing side bend, even though I'm on my knees. And then reaching up, so stretching all the way up the side body. Just let the head be comfortable, so it might need to be down. You might find you can just take the gaze forward. You might want to look up if you can rotate a little, but don't strain the neck, okay? Coming back to center, over to the other side, so exactly the same. Breathing in, lifting up, pop the shoulders down, and then over to the side. And again, you can just feel that stretch all the way up the side body. Obviously, we're working with the shoulders here as well. Head is in a comfortable position, and then coming back to center. And release the strap. Okay, you can see the benefit of having the strap for that because it's got a little bit of resistance and just kind of helps a little. So if you were kneeling with me, come back up to standing up. Okay, all we're going to do is we're just going to look at Warrior 3. So if you're adjusting a 3, this is a standing balance. One that kind of requires the use of your shoulders. So I'm going to come sideways on. We just take 1 foot forwards. We can keep the hands in prayer at the heart center for the time being. Put the weight is on 1 foot, pointing the toes behind of the other foot. Okay, and then actually if you press through the heel, keep the hips level, so feel kind of nice and active through the back leg, and you're going to come forward but only to where your back is happy to go. So you might come down to about parallel. Okay, we're working with strength, we're working with a hamstring stretch, a hip opening movement as well. And if your arms are happy, shoulders are happy, back is happy as well, you can bring the arms out in front. Okay, so this is your Warrior 3. I know this might not be comfortable for everybody because it adds a load onto the back. So the possibility to take the arms out to the side, this is another option for arm placement. You can even take the hands behind the back, so interlace the fingers, clasping. So you're still working with the shoulders but opening across the chest as well. Breathing. Okay, I've been here a while, I'm about to go. And then we'll just release the hands, come back to prayer at the heart center, and slowly, she says, coming back up to standing. So we were there for a good few breaths. So if you needed to come out beforehand, that's fine. You either kind of wait or you come back into it. So let it almost be in 2 parts. We'll do the same to the other side. So I might come around this side. What leg did I just do? Yeah, okay. So obviously, I don't know which way. Okay, I think I feel. No, for balance, actually, I'm going to turn around. So we're shifting the weight to the other foot. So I did my right foot. Now I'm going to do my left. So make sure you've done both sides. Exactly the same. So we'll start with the hands in prayer. Weight on 1 foot, other leg extended. We're going to lift the back foot off. If you press through the heel, we're going to keep the leg active. Hips stay level as much as possible, and you're just going to move forward. So fold forward to where it's comfortable. So if you feel any kind of unpleasant weight onto the back, you can just kind of stay up a little. Okay. If you feel comfortable to come down, then do. And then the possibility again to extend the arms out, possibly. Maybe take the arms out to the sides, or maybe take the hands behind. Okay, so just kind of seeing what feels comfortable here, and kind of playing with the feeling. Okay, taking a few more breaths. That way around. okay? And if your arms are extended, you're just going to bring those arms in, and we're going to come up to standing up. Okay, so one side might have felt better than the other. That felt a bit awkward for me on my left. I didn't feel, it's always the way, you kind of have like a bias, but it's almost important to make sure that you practice the side that you're less comfortable with. You know, you don't kind of skimp on that side, just to make sure that you keep that balance. Okay, I think we'll come into Prasarita. Just one more kind of standing position. Feet are parallel, hands to the hips, and we're just going to fold forwards. This will be a nice release for the back. So if you felt that into the back at all, we're just going to let the arms dangle, head, neck dangles. You know, really release around the upper back, the shoulders, the neck. Part the jaw, so make sure you're not kind of clenching the teeth at all. Breathe. You can take hold of the inside of the elbows possibly, maybe sway side to side, opening up the side body, feeling the stretch into the hamstrings a little more. Okay, and then we'll just come back to center, and actually we can just come down from here. So take the hands to the mat beneath you, maybe heel toe the feet in a little before coming down into a squat position. Okay, so find your comfortable position. You might be on the heels, you might be on the toes. Just take a moment. Then you can close the eyes if you wish. You might find your hands come down a little. Okay, and then we're going to come down nice and easy to sitting. We'll keep hold of the strap, so you might need this. Gomukhasana. Let's take the right foot over. Right foot's going to come over. Bottom foot potentially is coming under, though it can stay outstretched, so possibly bending that leg under. You'll find in this moment that you're on the sole of the foot. If you can comfortably come onto the top of the foot, so rather than on the sole, just coming onto the top of the foot, so almost like the feet are doing the same thing, then do. Okay, it is a strong hip stretch as well, but we're gonna get comfy in our seat, so the bottom leg can be extended, remember, and then we're going to focus on the shoulders. So we're going to bring the left arm up. You're going to reach between the shoulder blades, and I want you to really think about keeping this elbow up. Okay, so we don't want to be here if possible. We're going to keep this up, and you're reaching the hand towards. So at the back of my body, I'm doing this. Okay, it doesn't have to do this. You can just reach the hands towards. Okay, the other possibility, if you have your, well, you should have your strap still to hand, is that you kind of let the strap come over that shoulder. You're reaching back, holding onto the strap, and then the other hand is holding onto the bottom. So they wouldn't necessarily have to touch, but it kind of is like a gauge that your hands are heading in the right direction. Okay, so that way it doesn't have to feel too tight. Okay, but if you can clasp the hands, then clasp the hands. Okay, soften the ribs, soften the low back. Feel the seat, so feel the stretch across the hips. And we're just going to take a few breaths here. Okay, so let's take 3 more breaths, keeping that elbow up. Be aware of all that's going on in the body. We're stretching deeply across the shoulders, but we want to feel that as a kind of release as well. There's just really from posture, from sitting, from carrying things. It just all kind of builds this restriction that a lot of us have in our shoulders. So we're just helping to release that, get extra blood flow circulation here. One last breath, and then we'll release the grip, release the grip. Take the strap, remove the strap. We'll just unravel our legs. So Gomukhasana, cow face pose. Oh, I can feel a nice glow in my shoulder arm there. We're going to do the same to the other side. So crossing the left leg over this time, or whichever one you did or didn't do. Bottom leg possibly bending under. You're sitting between the heels, and then if you can, coming onto the tops of those toes. You might find the knees lining up. Okay, so it doesn't matter on the kind of, on this exactly, but you're just kind of heading towards it. So feel the stretch across the hips, doing the same, arm up, reaching between, so it's the opposite hand to knee, possibly clasping the hands. Again, you don't want to overstretch here, you don't want to hurt the back either. Fine, you don't want to squash the neck, so if you feel like your neck is squashed, then you want to use that strap so you can just kind of work with what feels comfortable. So like this, my hands are a little bit further away if I'm using the strap, okay? If you can reach a little deeper, go a little deeper, and then just breathe, okay? Feel what's going on. I'm very aware of my hips as well as my shoulders. We just notice what you're feeling. Helping to release any holding. Knees are soft, hips are relaxed. It is a strong stretch. It is a strong stretch, Gomukhasana. But it's really fantastic. And it really, like if your hands aren't touching, you can really use the strap as a gauge to kind of see how your shoulders are opening over time. Okay, let's just take one last breath, and then we're going to release the hands. If you're using the strap, we're just going to let the strap go to one side, and then we're going to unravel our legs, and we're going to come down. So one last kind of movement to get into the shoulders, Dvipada-Pitam. It's like a gentle bridge pose. If you come down to laying, so we'll pretty much stay down now. You've got your heels under your knees, a little bit closer to the body, arms by the sides, and all we're going to do is we're going to let the arms come up and over as we're lifting up the bottom and the hips, okay? So hands by the sides, breathing in, kind of tilting the pelvis, peeling off, all the way to the top of the breath, arms overhead, and then with the exhalation, just slowly rolling back down, okay? And then the arms float back down as well. So we'll do this a few more times. So breathing in, peeling off, arms up and over. Really pressing into the feet, open up the low back, exhaling slowly back down. And then one last time, peeling off, arms up and over. Okay, and then slowly back down. So it's just really gentle movement for the shoulders, for the spine. You can stay here, and we're going to let our knees go to the left side. So you can start from this position and just kind of let the knees flop. But if that doesn't do much, then you're going to bring the knees to the chest, let the arms come to the sides, and then let the knees go to the side as well. And you're just opening up the spine. You can cross the top leg over. I'm a little bit squashed here. That will add a deeper twist, but it might be too much. A little bit too much for my back. So I just let my head relax, but you can keep the head up. Keep the back of the shoulders connected. Head, neck relaxed. Stretching through the spine. Maybe you feel it across the outer hip. Slow down the breathing. And then coming slowly back to center. Okay. And then over to the other side. So if you cross the legs, now's the time to change the cross. And then let the knees go to the other side, okay? Just letting the weight of the knees open up the spine, let the head, the neck relax if that feels comfortable. You can just feel a nice spinal twist to stretch maybe across the hips. Press down through the back of the shoulders. You just naturally slowing down the rhythm of the breath. And then coming back to center. Okay, knees back to center, gaze back to center. We'll find a comfortable position for Shavasana. So whatever's comfortable for you, just a couple of minutes just to kind of relax. Remember, I would imagine you're practicing at home, so you can always stay longer. If Shavasana is not long enough, just stay longer. Allow your body to feel heavy, draw the shoulders down, tuck the tailbone under maybe. Hands resting where they're comfortable to rest. And just deepening the breathing, so big inhalation with the exhalation, just kind of letting go, noticing if you're holding anywhere in the body. Let the head be heavy, back of the shoulders heavy, arms, kind of a softness around the chest, around the belly, heavy through the hips, pelvis, legs heavy, feet heavy, toes relaxed, and just allowing yourself to rest, to stay still. To the breath, or just an observation of the connection of the body to the earth. Melting into the mat. Face, jaw is relaxed. Of the ebb and flow of the breath. If you feel like you want to stay, then just stay as you are. If you feel like you want to come back, I'm going to guide you back. I'm just going to take a deeper breath in. Really feel like you're filling to the very top of the lungs. Exhalation, just kind of sighing out. Again, breathing in a fuller, maybe a more energizing breath. And then as you exhale, feel like you're sending the movement, the breath into the hands, with your fingers, get into the wrists, into the feet, the legs, point flex toes, circle the ankles, and we're just going to layer on really from here. So kind of start to move as you feel comfortable to move, or as you kind of feel guided to move. You can bring the knees to the chest, you can hug the knees, you can rock side to side, you can take a full body stretch. So whatever feels good, just to kind of come back into the space. Okay, and then we'll come onto the side. Actually, you can rock yourself up. So just kind of be kind to your spine really, and then we'll just ease ourselves up. So again, all in your own time, up to sitting up. Find a comfortable seat. So cross-legged, maybe sitting on your heels, however's comfortable. Okay, and then we will close with our 3 Oms. So join in if you can. Bring your hands to prayer at the heart center, or you can rest them into the lap if you prefer. Close the eyes and we can feel the vibration of the Om as well. So taking a deep breath in, exhaling first of all, breathing in, and again deep breath in, and last time, deep breath in, okay, so we're just bringing or keeping the hands together, thumbs to the brow center, open mind, and down to the heart center, open heart. So thank you very much for choosing to practice with me. Namaste. Okay, thank you very much.